Welcome back to the Eye of the Observer podcast, where today we are talking about the Culinary Department here at ECC. My name is Vanch, and I'm with Eric as always, and let's dive right in. Welcoming our guest for today, one of the pastry instructors for the Culinary Department, Chef Guzzaldo. Chef, can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. By the way, thanks for having me today. It's my pleasure to be here with you. Yeah, I'm an alum of ECC, so I graduated in '05. I was a culinary student who took the introductory baking class and really fell in love with baking, took the whole baking program, graduated with culinary and pastry degrees, and by the time I graduated, I knew I wanted to be in pastries. And shortly after graduating, got my first job as a pastry chef, and I've been working as pastry chef or bakery operations for the past, oh, what is that now? 17 years then. Um, so last year, then I came back to ECC as an instructor, and it's been the best experience of my career thus far.
Well, that's wonderful to hear that you're having a great experience here at ECC. But what's a day in the life of a culinary teacher? I mean, it's a huge opportunity. I mean, me personally, I love cooking myself and especially baking as well. But talk about a little bit what goes on in your day.
Oh yeah, so my day starts pretty early. I like to get in well before my class starts so I can get it all set up. I get the ingredients organized, I get mine all organized, I check out my presentation. I have on a rotational basis, one student comes in a little bit early and helps me get sinks filled up and get our equipment all set. And then class starts. Typical culinary classes consist of a short presentation on what we're going to be doing that day. Then, depending on the topic, either I'll do it first and then the students will do it themselves, or we do it simultaneously and I walk them through it. Then we make the product, then we taste it, clean up, and go.
So, of course, as you know, we have a restaurant here at ECC called the Spartan Terrace. Can you inform us what goes on in there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty cool collaboration between different classes. So there is one class that is kind of the capstone culinary class that's cooking the food that our patrons are eating in the restaurant. There's another class that consists of the service staff. The service staff is culinary students who are learning the service side of things, so they're operating the restaurant on that end. There's another class that is a management class that is working on the staff management and the cash management functions of that. And then it doesn't run every semester, but there's also pastry class that supports that restaurant that is making the desserts for the restaurant. And if that class doesn't run, we have an intern that'll be taking care of the desserts for that. So it's really a lot of different moving pieces that come together to execute that.
And it really sounds like a well formed, I guess, operation to teach students more about what goes behind the scenes of restaurants. Do you think that students who have this experience that they are better off in the culinary field, that since they started in for example, working in the Spartan Terrace and moving on to cooking food for people and learning the flow of how a restaurant works, do you think that really helps students?
Oh, absolutely. And I think especially getting exposure to a wide variety of types of cooking and cuisine is a huge advantage in a culinary school versus just getting work experience where you're going to have a more narrow exposure. So absolutely gives them real world, real life experience. And I know the students are always really pumped up about taking that class. They're excited to get there and to be able to do that.
Who do you know that actually ate at the Spartan Terrace and they really liked the food and they actually came back and complimented you and maybe the other instructors for what you're doing right now?
Yeah, it's pretty common that the we get a lot of positive feedback, repeat customers, and the Spartan Terrace books out months in advance, so people are always really thrilled about it. I've had another instructor's family come and other teachers' family that have come. My family hasn't made it quite yet, but I'm sure they will. But they're always really excited. It's a fine dining atmosphere, and it's just kind of fun to have that in the middle of the college and to have some fine cuisine in the middle of your day. We also operate, by the way, the retail store, the Spartan To Go, and that I've been a part of operating, and there's a lot of enthusiasm about that too. Generally, there's a line down the hall waiting for it to open for people to get dibs on the stuff that they want. They descend on it from all over the campus.
And could you tell us more about Spartan to Go? Eric and I, we were talking about it earlier today. He was actually asking a couple of questions about it. Primarily, what was it? What's composed of?
Yeah, sure. So like the pastry class that I mentioned that operates Spartan Terrace Desserts also produces pastries for the Spartan to Go, kind of on a supplemental basis, and they will operate the customer service aspect of that. But that's really an outlet for the product for all of our pastry and cooking classes to give the community access to what our students are making. Just as a touch point for the community and an opportunity for the students to be able to serve the community that way. It also it makes every class is a real world food production environment because we're serving the public in that retail space. We're not just cooking for family and friends. So we have to adhere to all of our sanitary practices because we are serving the public. Kind of adds a little extra level of accountability for all of our classes, which is a great professional experience for our students.
So I just wanted to, a quick question. Have you guys like ever received any negative feedback or major complaints with the Spartan Terrace?
No, no, no. And I would say not in like any major negative feedback, but I think people are excited to be able to speak into the career journey of our students. So so there definitely is some constructive feedback that we get, and we should, and we welcome that. It's all a part of our students' growth and all of our growth. Everybody could, get better at what they're doing. So yeah, we give comment cards and we go over that with the classes of what we're doing well, what we need to work on, and, make a plan and improve it.
So with the Spartan Terrace, do you like have to make a reservation in order for you to go, or can you just go in there?
Yeah. It books up a couple months in advance, so you have to plan ahead and call and make a reservation to get a table for sure.
Oh, really? So does it? So is it usually like filled?
Oh yeah, yeah. They're
That's
booked. They're booked up through the semester. If you want to go there, you have to wait till next semester.
So I don't know if you mentioned this or not, but I know the Spartan Terrace. I'm pretty sure it's operating this semester. But do you know maybe certain days or times it'll be like operating in
Yeah.
general?
Yes, and as a point of clarification, the Spartan Terrace operates every semester. It's only the dessert class that may or may not be running. But yeah, it's every semester. It's always Tuesdays, Thursdays, and it's open for lunch. And the exact opening time might vary semester to semester, but it's usually in the 12 o'clock to 2 or 2:30 range. And then periodically we'll run a night section of it and have it open for dinner, but not that often just because most of the students are more daytime based students.
So if Vanch or I wanted to go, to the Spartan Terrace and wanted to visit it, what would you recommend for us to get?
Yeah, the menu changes so much I couldn't even make a recommendation. They try to change it frequently to give the students chances of making all different kinds of food. So you'd have to go there and see whatever is your preference of what you would like, or talk to the students about it. All the service staff is well educated on the foods themselves, but whatever you get, I'm sure you'll be happy with it.
As a chef, you've cooked a lot of food in your lifetime, I presume. And my next question is it's a little off topic, but still on topic. What is your favorite food? Not even to cook, but maybe to eat.
Oh, that's hard. I'm definitely a big bread head. I love bread, any kind of bread, and I teach the bread class, so I'm well suited for that. I'm Italian, so it's just genetic. Bread, I also like chocolate a lot. I like chocolate, like working with chocolate. I like eating chocolate. Not that picky about what kind of chocolate, just dark chocolate. Yeah, I'd probably say those two. So, and bread is usually an excuse to eat other things too. So, meats and sopping up sauces and stuff like that.
I mean,
It's
I
all
do agree
great.
with you. Bread is pretty good in my opinion.
Bread's amazing.
Bread is amazing. Real quick, why do you guys change the menu?
Yeah, we rotate pretty frequently so that the students have the opportunity to make more different types of things. So we give them enough time to get their arms around a dish, but then we switch the dish so that they can learn how to make another dish. So just getting them exposed to executing as many types of dishes as we can, and then also giving them an opportunity to they're creating elements of the dish also.
So, how frequently do you change the dishes?
I think it depends, but in a semester they go through several menus. I don't know if I could put a number on it. I'm kind of the wrong instructor to ask that actually, unfortunately. But I think that they change it 2 or 3 times throughout the semester.
Okay. Well, this more guided towards your kind of profession, I guess, the instructor that you are. What type of pastries have you cooked so far in the semester?
This semester, so the first half of the semester, I was running my bread class, and I had one student actually on her evaluation said, "What did you like about this class?" She said, "We made every bread known to man." So it's a lot of bread. Breads, but then sweet things like coffee cakes and cinnamon rolls, and then we get into laminates like croissants and danishes, things like that. So that's the bread class. There's also sourdoughs and pre-ferments, baguettes, all those types of bread. So bread in the bread class. And then I'm also running the introductory baking class. And so that class, we start out with quick breads, which is like muffins and biscuits and some simple like coffee cake type cakes, banana bread. And then we do a little bit of exposure to yeast breads. So we do the baguettes and focaccia and cinnamon rolls and dinner rolls, and then we get into choux paste, which is eclairs and cream puffs. We do unbaked and baked pies, so like cream pies and fruit pies and pumpkin pies. And we do custards like cheesecakes and creme brulees and pot de creme, or sorry, and flans, creme caramel it is. And then we do a little bit of plating, so we do some savory stuff, and that's about enough for one class. Oh, and tarts too.
That sounds like a lot of dishes. I think I wouldn't be able to cook all of that in one class at all.
Oh, you would if you were in the class though, because we just do it slowly. And probably my favorite thing about that class is it does sound like a lot, and that's what I really like about it is almost every day students come to class and they leave class with a new skill. They leave class being able to do something or make something that they couldn't when they got there. And it just accumulates over time. There's 24 sessions to that class, and nearly every one of them, they're walking away with a lifelong skill that they would have. And by the way, these classes are like 4 hours long. My yeast breads class is 6 hours long. So it's enough time to really get your arms around it.
4 hours long. Is it divided? I'm just curious here. Is it divided like maybe like 30 minutes to presentation, the rest cooking, or?
It depends on the day. I would be in a more complex presentation, it might be up to an hour. But yeah, about maybe the first 30 minutes. It's in the same space. It's just a production bakery with, some educational tools, of course. So yeah, just do the 30-minute or so presentation, then we do the demo and making, but like making the food takes time. So we need the long time to be able to do it, especially yeast breads has, proof times and things we have to wait for. So that's really the only way to do it justice is to have those long classes.
And I don't know if we've talked about this or not, but what is your favorite part of being an instructor here at Elgin Community College?
It's a good question. I think the thing I was talking about where students are leaving with a new skill like every day. So just being the opportunity or just having the opportunity to be a part of that process, to being a part of the students' journeys of them growing into the chef or the pastry chef that they want to be, kind of full circle, because my old pastry instructor did that for me, really changed my life. Like I never considered being a pastry chef until I had her class, and Chef Stephanie Johnson changed my life, and now I get to do that for the next generation of pastry people. It's really exciting for me.
That's pretty cool, not gonna lie.
That sounds wonderful.
Right.
And this might be one of our final questions here. Are there any experiences that have stuck out to you, whether it was when you were learning how to cook or maybe now when you're teaching?
Yeah, in general, I think what I've loved about baking is it's close to people's hearts. Like when you make something, it's pretty frequent that someone will say, "And my grandma used to have the best recipe for this thing." And I'll always say, I don't want to be better than your grandma. I'm sure your grandma's, is better than mine. But really, just how close it is to people's hearts and their family, and special occasion related to the food stuff is really special. And I had one experience. I had a special order cake. I was a pastry chef at a country club, and some of the members, they had twin baby daughters. And I think it was their second birthday cake. They asked me to make their birthday cake, and they asked if I could make fondant, which is like a cake decorating ingredient. It's kind of like edible Play-Doh. If I could make fondant of their granddaughters. So I made fondant of their granddaughters, just like little statuettes for the cake. And when the grandmother picked up the cake, she started crying when she saw it. And that really just gets to the heart of what I love about pastry is just how special it is to people.
And I mean, I completely understand. I mean, me personally, I had my own share of experiences with like cooking maybe a brownie or maybe just part of a cake or anything really like baking related I do with my mom and whatever. And it's just like one of the best things because she teaches me and then I teach either my sister or my little cousins or whatever. And like, that's one thing about cooking, it unites all of us. And
Mm.
this leads to one of my final questions for today is there anything you'd like to tell either to the student body in general or maybe upcoming culinary students?
Yeah, the culinary department is there for the whole school. We serve the community, so I'd love to see the students feel like that's there to take advantage of the restaurant, to poke their heads in and come and get a tour just to see it. If anybody like yourself, you're interested in cooking, just take a cooking class, even if you're not going to take, get a degree in culinary. You can learn different cooking methods. The baking class I just mentioned, learn how to make all that stuff. It's great for anybody's journey. We do get people, even retirees, who come back for just to take a baking class just because. We'd love to see more of that. And then somebody might realize, hey, this really connects with me, and I never considered doing this before. Like for me, I didn't never consider being a pastry chef until I tried it. Um, and and I've had a really enjoyable career.
And with that, we thank you for coming on today's podcast. We thank our listeners as well, and a big special thanks to our audio editor, Indy Wilson. And to learn more about The Observer and to see our work, make sure to visit elginobserver.com. Make sure to follow us on Instagram as well at Observer Newspaper and on TikTok at Elgin Observer. And until next time, my name's Vanch, and that's Eric, and we'll see you guys next time.